Hello wine people, welcome to Thirsty and Wise, where we simplify wine. My name is Peter and I'm a wine educator. In this video I'll explain everything what you need to know about grape variety Garnacha or Grenache, depending if you are in France or in Spain, for your WSET Level 2 in wines. On Thirsty and Wise YouTube channel, we want to change the world of wine. We want to make the wine more simple, fun and approachable. So if you're interested, please consider subscribing and let's change the world of wine together. And let's start this video. Okay, wine people, let's talk about Grenache or Garnacha. Our standard format of explaining grape varieties for your WSET Level 2 in wine course and exam is I'll explain the characteristic style of this grape variety, viticulture, winemaking, appellations, labeling, everything what is important and relevant for you to know about this grape variety for your WSET Level 2 in wines. And on the end, I will answer 10 example mock questions. Grenache is the term that is used in France and in the rest of the world, and Garnacha is the term that is used in Spain. I must also make a note that Grenache, it is also a very important grape variety in Italy, in the island of Sardinia, where it is called Cannonau. Unfortunately, it is not relevant for WSET Level 2 in wines, but I look forward to tasting some Cannonau and making a video about it in the future. Characteristic style of wine that Grenache is making, color, it is pale in color. This is because of the thin skin. It has a thin skin, produces wines that are pale in color and also medium to low in tannin, usually produces dry wines. Please also note that Grenache is a very important grape variety to produce fortified wines in south of France, but it is not part of this video. Just have a note that is important for fortified wines. And if you learn about when you take your WSET Level 3 in wines, then you'll learn about that. Acidity wise, it is a grape variety that has that produces wines with lower acidity, especially in a warm climate. So acidity is medium to low. Alcohol is high from the same reason, because of the warm climate. And also Grenache has a tendency to produce high sugar levels in the grape, which result in high alcohol wines on the end. Tannin is medium to low. Body is medium to full. Flavor wise, it is dominated by red fruit and has a characteristic of peppery note. In the viticulture and winemaking, skin is thin, so thin skin produces wines that are medium to pale in color and also medium to low in tannin. It's a grape variety that needs warm climate in order to ripen properly. That's why you're going to find Grenache in south of France, in Spain, in island of Sardinia, in Italy, and also in Australia. Challenges are high yields. It's a grape variety that it has a tendency to produce high yields, which result lower quality wines, especially in warm climate regions where there is a low level of water available, and also bush wines. These factors, bush wines together with a low amount of water, are naturally restrict this grape variety to produce lower yields and produce higher quality grapes, which are used for higher quality wines. Winemaking, it can produce red wines, it can produce rosé wines. It is very common to produce rosé wines from Grenache because it has this thin skin that it helps to produce a more delicate style rosé wines. It is in most cases used as a part of the blend. In south of France, it is one of the most, if not the most important grape variety, and it is dominant part of the blend, but in many cases it is blended with other grape varieties. You need to understand the characteristics of Grenache, and you need to understand characteristics of, for example, Syrah, which is the most common blending partner, and you need to understand when you blend them together what they bring to the blend. So Grenache brings more paler color, produces wines with lower acidity, lower tannin and red fruit. Syrah is totally opposite. Syrah produces more deeper color wines, higher acidity, higher tannin and dark fruit flavors. In the winery, it can produce simple wines, simple red wines, simple rosé wines, but it can also produce complex and age-worthy red wines. Wines that have the ability to age develop in dry fruit and leather aromas with age. It is also a grape variety that is a delicate. It needs delicate, I would say, as a Pinot Noir, that too much oak aging would overpower the aromas of Grenache. All the appellations that you need to know for your WSET Level 2 in wines are here. 3 countries that you need to be focusing on: France, Spain and Australia. So let's start from the top. Grenache, France. The most important region that you need to know is Southern Rhone. Appellations of Côte de Rhone Village, Châteauneuf-du-Pape. My recommendation, if you did not see already a video on Syrah, please watch that video as well. And my recommendation would be to study Syrah and Grenache together. In WSET Level 2 in Wines book, you have a separate section on Syrah, a separate section on Grenache, but actually these 2 grape varieties are important for one region, and that is Rhone. Rhone is divided in the north and in the south, but when you read these 2 sections, I will recommend to read them together. I'll explain the importance of reading them together. Style-wise, it produces red wines and rosé wines. In Southern Rhone, it produces simple wines. It can produce more complex wines. Factors that are affecting the style and quality of Southern Rhone wines is warm Mediterranean climate that easily ripens grapes, produces grapes that are high in sugar, that later on produces wines that are high in alcohol and full body. Additionally, Southern Rhone has a very specific soil, which is big rocks that are called galettes. These galettes additionally help to the grapes to ripen, because they're like radiators. They absorb heat during the day and then they release the heat during the night, additionally helping for the grapes to ripen. Grenache is the most important grape variety in Southern Rhone, and it is in many cases blended with Syrah and other local grape varieties. Grenache in France, in Languedoc-Roussillon. Languedoc-Roussillon is that region south and west of Rhone. Appellation that you need to remember, it is Minervois. It is also the same appellation that you need to remember for Syrah. Has a warm Mediterranean climate that also produces Grenache wines blended with Syrah and other local grape varieties. Provence is south but east of Rhone Valley, and it is very popular in production of very pale rosé wines, which are made from Grenache and other local grape varieties. In Spain, where Grenache is called Garnacha, you need to remember 3 regions, that is Rioja, Navarra and Catalonia. In Rioja, Grenache is not really the most important grape variety. The most important black grape variety in Rioja is Tempranillo, and Grenache can be part of the blend. I'm sure there's also examples of varietal Grenache wines in Rioja, but it is part of the blend. In Navarra, it is a more important grape variety than in Rioja, and it produces varietal wines, and it also produces red and rosé wines. The best, highest quality, best expression of Grenache, it is actually found in Catalonia and specifically in the appellation of Priorat, where it produces the most powerful style. It produces these wines from very old vines that naturally restrict the high yields of Grenache, Grenache is the most important grape variety, and it's also blended with other local grapes. In Australia, Grenache, it is a very important grape variety, also next to Shiraz. The two appellations that you need to remember in South Australia are Barossa Valley and McLaren Vale. My apologies for some misspellings here. These wines are compared to Chateauneuf de Pape. I'll explain what Chateauneuf de Pape is. Basically, it's a very ripe, powerful style of Grenache and Shiraz blend. Again, old wines that where Grenache and Shiraz are blended. So this is the map of Rhône, north and south, here until Saint-Péry, Valence. This is considered North Rhône, actually until here, and then Côte de Tristan, this is South Rhône. Okay, you can actually, from this map, you can see that there's a huge difference in topography. Northern Rhône is a more narrow and very steep valley, where Southern Rhône and also North Rhône is a more moderate continental climate, where Syrah is on the top, on the northern limit, where it can ripen properly, where in the south it's more warm Mediterranean climate, which is more suitable for Grenache. For appellation purposes, we said Côte de Rhône Village, and then Cru wine. So when we talked about Syrah, I mentioned Syrah is the most important black grape variety in the north. It is the only grape variety that it is used in the north. In the south, Syrah is used as part of the blend, but the most important grape variety in the south is Grenache. So the Côte de Rhône appellation is basically whole Rhône Valley, even the north. But technically, Côte de Rhône Village, if you see that appellation on the label, all the grapes are actually coming from the south. And this is Côte de Rhône appellation is a more price approachable wine. And in order to make this wine that is more price approachable, it would be very challenging to do it if you have grapes coming from the north, where the region is more steep and the grapes are much in less quantity than in the south, and where you need to hand harvest it. That's why, economically wise, it is much easier to make a Côte de Rhône wine from grapes that are coming from the south, which is much more warmer, flatter. You can use also machine harvesting, and it's much more economically viable to produce grapes in the south for this appellation. Then you have the Côte de Rhône Village appellation, which is selected villages from the south that come inside this appellation, and these are a step up in quality from basic Côte de Rhône. And then the highest quality are going to come from the Cru appellations in the south. The most important, the only one that you need to remember for your WSET Level 2 in wines is the appellation of Chateauneuf de Pape, which is located here. Okay. This is the appellation of, so this is how Rhône looks like. So this is the north here, okay. This is the south. And then you have the Languedoc-Roussillon here. You need to remember the Minervois appellation. And then you have the Provence here on the east. Okay. In Spain, don't worry, you don't need to remember all of this. You just need to remember 3 regions. One is Navarra, we said, which is more important for varietal Grenache wines and rosé wines. Rioja, where Grenache is part of the blend, and then the most important region is for Grenache is Catalonia, which is all of this, but the appellation that you need to remember is Priorat for premium powerful red wines. In Australia, again, warm Mediterranean climate, 2 appellations that you need to remember: Barossa Valley here in the north, a little bit more altitude and more moderation, and McLaren Vale here in the south, more warmer Mediterranean climate. Okay. So this is the appellation system in Côte d'Aron, which is a system that you can also find in Beaujolais and in Burgundy, like we talked about. So you don't need to remember all of this appellation, all of these numbers. The only thing that you need to remember is the hierarchy and the quality system, starting from the regional level, which is Côte d'Aron, which means the grapes are going to come from anywhere in the Rhone Valley. Style wine will be more simple, more on the fruit side, less complex, price approachable, lighter and easier style. Côte d'Aron Village, you can expect a little bit more concentration, a little bit more power, a little bit more complexity maybe. And then the highest quality will be Côte d'Aron Cru, and only one cru that you need to remember is Châteauneuf-du-Pape. So Châteauneuf-du-Pape will be a blend of Grenache and other local grape varieties. You can expect a wine that is going to be full-bodied, high alcohol, ripe, and complex style of wine. These are the 3 labels. Côte d'Aron, so the basic label, then step up in quality is Côte d'Aron Village. Sometimes you can actually see the name of the village where the grapes are coming from. So if you get the indication of the village, that actually should be quite a good value. And then the highest quality is the cru. You're going to see, for example, Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Châteauneuf-du-Pape is not the only one, but it is definitely the most famous one that you need to remember. Ready for the 10 questions? Let's go. Grenache can grow well in a cool climate. True or false? This is false. Grenache needs warm climate in order to ripen properly, and you can see all the appellations that we showed. It is a warm Mediterranean climate, south of Australia, south of France, and also Mediterranean parts of Spain. Which is not correct for Grenache grape? Low acidity, high alcohol, thick skin, red fruit. The correct answer is C, thick skin. Grenache doesn't have thick skin, it has thin skin. Grenache is blended with this grape in South Rhone: Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Syrah, Pinot Noir. The correct answer, I know it's a little bit confusing when I say, actually it's not. South Rhone, it's only one, it's Syrah. In the Languedoc-Roussillon, it can be blended with other grape varieties as well, but for the Rhone, in Rhone, it is with Syrah. Which is not appellation in South Rhone? Côte d'Aron, Hermitage, Côte d'Aron Village, Châteauneuf-du-Pape. The correct answer is B, Hermitage. Hermitage is an appellation in the North Rhone. Which region is famous for pale color rosé wines? Hermitage, Rioja, Minervois, Côte de Provence. The correct answer is D, Côte de Provence. Which is not a region in Spain? Rioja, Navarra, Barossa, Priorat. The correct answer is C, Barossa. Barossa is located in South Australia. Best description for Châteauneuf-du-Pape is medium alcohol, fresh fruit, simple. Medium alcohol, ripe and complex. High alcohol, fresh and simple. High alcohol, ripe and complex. The correct answer is D, high alcohol, ripe and complex. What does Syrah contribute to Grenache in a blend? Color, tannin, black fruit, all the above. The correct answer is all the above. So Syrah is more tannic, deeper in color, higher acidity, black fruit. Grenache is totally opposite. Grenache is paler in color, red fruit, lower tannin and lower acidity. Which region is known for rosé wines? Priorat, Barossa Valley, Navarra, Minervois. The correct answer is C, Navarra. All of these appellations can produce rosé wines, but Navarra is the most important one. A region that actually it's very classical to find rosé from Navarra. Which appellation is known for big round stone soils? Rioja, Priorat, Châteauneuf-du-Pape, Minervois. The correct answer is C, Châteauneuf-du-Pape. Let me know how well you did. Wine people, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it was fun, informative and easy to understand. Please consider subscribing, sharing, commenting if you did not do so already. All this will help Thirsty and Wise YouTube channel to reach more wine people around the world. For all of us together as a community of wine people around the world to change the perception of wine, to make wine as it should be, more simple to understand, fun and approachable for everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay thirsty and wise.